Mission says the Zambian elections were generally peaceful despite violence that erupted in Lusaka in the lead-up to Thursday's polls. With results continuing to come in, the country's President Edgar Lungu is currently leading the race. With 29 out of 156 constituencies counted, President Edgar Lungu of the ruling Patriotic Front Party had 262,149 votes, while Hakainde Hichilema of the opposition United Party for National Development had 243,794 votes. The winner must get more than 50% of a vote to avoid a runoff. Lungu won the last election with 48% of votes, taking office in early 2015 after the death of President Michael Sata. Hichilema, a close second, alleged there were voting irregularities. Zambia has had peaceful transitions of power in the past, but tension during this year's election campaign set off street clashes at times. Now for more, we cross to our reporter Shingai Nyoka in Lusaka, Zambia. Good evening, Shingai. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, what's the latest on vote counting?
Well, good evening to you. The Electoral Commission has just announced the latest set of results, and it appears that the opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema is back in the lead. According to those latest votes, he's amassed 384,000 votes polled, and then Edgar Lungu has amassed about 373,000. So that's about 9,000 votes that separate these two candidates, and it's been like that since the announcements of the votes started. Initially, Edgar Lungu was leading, and then Hakainde Hichilema took over. So really, it's still too early to see what the pattern might be when the final tally is announced.
Now, Shingai, opposition parties had earlier raised concerns over alleged irregularities. Has the Electoral Commission shed any more light on this?
Well, it has. Earlier today, tempers frayed with one of the representatives from the opposition who accused several of the commissioners of colluding with the Patriotic Front, the ruling party, of delaying results so that they could manipulate the vote. What they're demanding is that certain forms, the certification forms, be delivered to the Lusaka polling stations. What the Electoral Commission had said is that it has ordered that those forms be delivered to those polling stations, and so results should start trickling in faster. A lot of the frustration has been around the delays in the announcement of the vote. The Electoral Commission had actually made a commitment before polling started that they would have the presidential results announced within 48 hours of polling, and that deadline expires tonight, and we still only have about 50 of those 156 polling results.
Now, Shingai, you've mentioned that the pattern between who's leading and who's not keeps on changing. We saw yesterday President Edgar Lungu was leading, and now Hichilema is leading. How are people reacting to these changes?
Is one of the elections that's had a very high voter turnout, and Zambia is still very polarized, as you can see from the results. And so there are a lot of people that are very excited around the polling stations. Yesterday, they were celebrating around their members of parliament who had won these elections. But then also you have those other groups that are saying that this pace of announcing the results is just too slow. And so there's frustration from those because they believe that they have won the election. Hakainde Hichilema earlier on had, in a press briefing, had said that he believes that he's won, and that's the reason why there's such a delay. But just generally, people are waiting with bated breath and with anticipation for the final results to be announced.
Speaking of those final results, Shingai, do we have a date as to when the final results will be released?
Said that deadline expired.
Apologies for those technical problems. We lost our reporter Shingai Nyoka then. She was giving us an update on those elections in Zambia. Results are trickling in. We'll give you more updates as the bulletins continue. Now, in other news, the